The Dragon Coaster is a staple at the Legoland parks. This unique attraction combines a well-themed dark ride section followed by a more traditional family roller coaster. This particular video will focus on the version at Legoland California, and it also happens to be my favorite coaster in the park. I will explain why in this review. There are 10 operating Legoland parks across the globe. Every single park includes a medieval-themed area and a dragon coaster. This coaster always starts off with some dark ride scenes before heading outdoors for a series of twists, turns, and helixes. While the overall format and dark ride section is very similar park to park, the coaster section can vary quite wildly. The first Dragon coaster went to Legoland Billund in 1997. This was a Mach-powered coaster. This is the tamest of the Dragon coasters worldwide, and I'm glad the later ones got a bit more ambitious with the layout. The second Dragon coaster went to Legoland Windsor in 1998. This was a gravity-driven roller coaster built by WGH Transportation, a small English ride manufacturer. All of their coasters and most of their rides in general have been built in their native country. The third Dragon went to Legoland California in 1999. This would use the Vekoma Junior Coaster ride system. The only other Vekoma version would be the one at Legoland Florida, but that was a unique case. Cypress Gardens built Okeechobee Rampage with a standard layout. When Legoland purchased the park, they extended the ride to feature the usual dark ride section before the main layout. The 6 ground-up Dragon coasters Legoland has built since the turn of the millennium have all been built by Zier Rides. More specifically, this is a Force 5 model. I previously reviewed the installation at Legoland New York if you want to hear more, but in short, I prefer the Zier version because it has some deceptive power to it, and in general it's a more thrilling ride. But the version in California is enjoyable too, especially for families. Dragon was the one coaster to open with Legoland California. The 40-inch height requirement was perfect for this park's family audience. Located in Castle Hill, the whole area has a medieval theme. The focal point of the land is Dragon. The coaster station and dark ride scene is housed in this nice-looking gray castle. It's the biggest structure in the land. The coaster sports faded green track to blend in with the nearby trees, but you can still see the first few elements fairly well from the midway. But the best vantage points of this attraction are actually from the hotels adjacent to the park. This is the lone attraction visible from the outside world. To access the attraction, you walk under this festive archway bearing the ride's name. Then the queue line mostly takes place outdoors, routing you around a graveyard with some comical tombstones. Then the station area looks fantastic too. The walls have nice brickwork to them, and there are a series of chandeliers and flags hanging from the ceiling. And there's a medieval soundtrack fostering a pleasant atmosphere too. Last but not least, you have the trains. It's a vibrant dragon designed to look like it was made of Legos. All this contributes to a great overall presentation. I've only visited Legoland on quiet weekdays in the off-season, but I believe this ride can typically get a 15 to 30 minute wait per queue times. Fortunately, it has decent capacity. The ride has and often runs 2 trains. Then each train has 10 rows of 2, so 20 riders at a time can be accommodated at once. And the simple lap bar restraints makes it easy for the employees to get the trains out quickly. I did not see the crew stack this ride once in any of my visits. There were many instances where they were just standing around waiting for the next train to return so they had something to do. As for which seat you want, I think the back offers the best experience if you want some added thrills. A few of the drops have some extra oomph back there, but it's nothing too extreme. I believe this ride uses assigned seating in busy times, but the employees seem open to you waiting for and requesting a specific row. Once dispatched, you have a 1.5 minute long dark ride section. I think this is really well done, easily the highlight of the ride. You pass a series of charming medieval scenes. You pass a kitchen, a series of jesters, a wizard, and best of all, a massive dragon. All the characters have the stylized Lego look you'd expect, but several move and they're quite big in scale too. The end of this section is a long dark hallway. The doors open up revealing the lift hill. It's 43 feet or 13 meters tall, and the train is propelled to the top using a series of drive tires as opposed to a traditional chain lift. Vekoma commonly uses the system on their smaller coasters. Now unfortunately, the great theming of the dark ride section is not carried over to the outdoor bit. It does at least feel scenic because a bunch of trees wall you off from the midway. Vekoma has a lot of clones out there, but this ride still has a unique layout that has not been duplicated, but it does bear a lot of similarities to their extended roller skater models. If you're unfamiliar with this model, examples include Islands of Adventure's Flight of the Hippogriff, or the Dragon Coaster at Legoland Florida that I already mentioned. But back to Legoland California's Dragon Coaster. The first drop is short and twists right, but if you're in the back, you get some whip as the long train gets pulled down it. Next is a 540-degree helix. You enter it rather slowly, but you start to build up speed and get some light positive G's at its lowest point, but those forces are still far less extreme than the Zero Dragon coasters I mentioned earlier in the review. You then have a slow turnaround and head towards the ride's finale, which is actually pretty good. You have this swooping plunge into a ditch. It's a nice use of terrain, and you get some solid force in the element yet again if you're in the back rows. You then head upwards, hit a set of brakes, and crawl back into the station. This ends the 1,247 foot or 380 meter long coaster. That's not a lot of track, and the coaster section is and does feel short, but the ride overall feels far longer and more complete because of that dark ride sequence at the start. In terms of smoothness, I have no issues with Dragon. It is very smooth. Vekoma struggled to make smooth thrill coasters a few decades ago, but their junior and family coasters almost always were tracking well. And then in terms of pacing, this is about on par with those aforementioned roller skaters, but that's more than fine for a family coaster like this. It's not expected to be a thrill coaster, nor is it. So what would I rate Dragon? I would give this coaster a 6 out of 10. This is a decent coaster. I love that dark ride segment at the start. Honestly, I like that better than the coaster bit. The quality of the scenes would be enough for its own standalone attraction. I think it's better than several coasters up north at Disneyland in terms of theming. Then you have the outdoor coaster section as well. It's just a hair better than your usual roller skater, but it is a unique layout, and a few of the drops, if you're seated towards the back, have some force to them. As I mentioned at the start, this is the park's best coaster, and it's a really nice fit for the park's audience. Every kid I saw coming off had a big smile on their face and wanted to get back in line. So those are my thoughts on Legoland California's Dragon Coaster. What are your thoughts on this unique ride? Is it your favorite coaster at the park as well? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.